Okay, if you've been through the previous two lessons and you've completed your homework, you should now know what your regular and reliable income is, so that income you can base your budget on. You should also know what all of your expenses are. So I mean all. Anything that you are likely to spend money on over the next 12 months should be included in your list of expenses. What we need to do now is make a direct comparison between what you earn and what you spend. So we need to bring those two together. But to do that, we need a consistent unit of measurement. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is take you through the process of converting both your income and your expenses to a monthly figure so we can make that apples to apples comparison. Now before I do that, I just want to address a question that I get asked a lot, and that is, well, why do you budget to a monthly cycle? I get paid weekly or I get paid fortnightly. Why do we budget to a monthly cycle? Well, there's three really good reasons why. Firstly, I deliberately try to budget monthly because when you are budgeting to your pay cycle, it becomes very easy to get stuck in your pay cycle. Very easy to get stuck in that paycheck to paycheck cycle. What I'm trying to do is pull you up out of that paycheck to paycheck thinking and to look at the bigger picture. So when you start budgeting to a monthly cycle, it really helps you do that and becomes more focused on the expenses and less focused on when is my income coming in. The second reason that we budget to a monthly cycle is that your bills occur, most bills occur to a multiple of months. So you think about things like your internet and your mobile phone bills and insurances, and a lot of the utilities and car registration are either monthly or multiples a month. So it makes more sense to budget to your expenses monthly rather than trying to budget around your income. The third reason why we budget to a monthly cycle is that at the end of every single month, we do what's called an end of month summary. The end of month summary is where we reconcile what your budget says you need with what your bank account actually has. This process takes, 15 to 20 minutes to complete. And if we were doing it every week, it would become a little bit too time consuming. And not only that, but not a lot happens in one specific week. So it's too regular to do it on a weekly basis. Fortnightly is difficult because an end of a fortnight could be end at any point in a month. So it makes it hard to track. So that is why we choose the month where there's a very obvious end to the end of each month. So 3 reasons why we do budget to a monthly cycle. What I want to take you through now is the conversion process. So how do we convert a weekly or a fortnightly figure to a monthly figure? Now, just to let you know that the Grandma's Jars application actually does this conversion for you. So as you're entering in a weekly pay or a weekly expense or a fortnightly expense, it'll convert it all to an average monthly figure for you. So you don't really need to know about this, but I want to show it to you anyway in case you're not using the Grandma's Jars app. Okay, so the conversion is really simple. I'm going to take 5 minutes to explain it to you, but it is very, very simple. Firstly, a 2-step process. No matter what the figure is, you want to convert it first and foremost to an annual figure. So if we look at a weekly figure, that means we times it by 52 to create an annual figure. If it's a fortnightly or bi-weekly expense or income, we times it by 26 to give us an annual figure. So if we look over here, if I get paid $500 a week, I times that by 52, which gives me $26,000 a year. If I get paid fortnightly, I times it by 26, and that gives me $26,000 a year. The second step then is to take that annual figure, divide it by 12 to give you an average monthly figure. So we can see over here we've taken $26,000, we've divided it by 12, and that gives us $2,166 per month expense or income. So I'm hoping that makes sense. It's a very simple process. In the Grandma's Jars app, you'll notice that it spits out a slightly different figure. That is because my overzealous developers wanted to be very, very right with this figure, and they included leap years, which has added a little bit extra to it, which is a complication I didn't really need, but there you go. It doesn't make too much of a difference. What I want to do now is just show you how this actually works out in reality, because there are some complications when you start budgeting to a monthly cycle. They're not a big deal, but we need to understand them. So that's what I'm going to go on with now. Okay, so we've converted a weekly figure and a fortnightly figure to an average monthly figure. What I want to do now is look at, well, how do we put this all together in a budget? Because there are some intricacies to these numbers that can really upset our budget unless we're aware of them. So the first thing we're going to look at is income. So let's just say that I receive an income of $1,000 per fortnight. If I convert that to a monthly figure, it comes out to be $2,166.67. So I've done that calculation. $1,000 times 26 divided by 12 equals $2,166. Now, the problem is, if I base my budget on $2,166, this isn't exactly how it works in reality. What really happens is, in January, I get 2 pays of $2,000. February, I get 2 pays of $2,000. For 5 months, I will get 2 pays of $2,000. And then, in June, I will receive a 3-pay month. I have a 3-pay month where I receive $3,000. So that can really throw us out, because if I've been budgeting to $2,166, what that means is that in month 1, so in January, my budget is falling behind by $166. In month 2, it's $333. And I get to May, and my budget is $833 in the red, because I haven't been receiving the income that I base my budget on. Of course, then when we get to June, I get $3,000, and the ledger is squared up, and I'm back to zero, which is great, but it can cause me some heart palpitations while this is going on. So what I recommend to all my clients, where possible, is that you base your budget on your minimum monthly income. So your minimum monthly income is the $2,000. You know that you are going to get 2 pays of $1,000 every month, so try and base your budget on that. Now, if you can do that, the bonus that comes with that is that when your 3-pay month comes along, that 3rd pay is purely a bonus. You have an extra $1,000 that hasn't been budgeted or based into the budget, and therefore it is purely spare. So this can become a very powerful form of forced savings, where by living to $2,000, you're freeing up that 3rd pay when it arrives twice a year, which can be really exciting. And I certainly love sitting down with my clients and going, yes, 3-pay month, you've got an extra $2,000 or $3,000 this month. It's very exciting, and you can do a lot with that extra pay. Now, obviously not everyone can do that, and I understand that. If you need to budget off your average monthly income, that's fine. It's income you are actually going to receive. It's just going to come unevenly. So as long as you know that, that's fine. But as I said, where possible, try to base your budget on your minimum monthly income, which is 4 weekly pays or 2 fortnightly pays per month. Very exciting. The Grandma's Jars app actually does both calculations for you. So when you put your income in, it'll work out what your minimum monthly income is, so based on 4 weeks or 2 fortnight pays, and it will also work out your average monthly. So you'll be able to have a look at both. But where possible, go the minimum monthly option. Okay, so we've now had a look at what the average monthly figure means when we're talking about your budgeted income. What I want to do now is look at what it means for your expenses. So if we have a look here, it's exactly the same numbers on the board here, except what I've got now is a mortgage of $1,000 per fortnight instead of an income of $1,000 per fortnight. So the mortgage, $1,000 per fortnight, which means that my average mortgage payment would be $2,166. But in the same way, that's not quite how it works for income. It's exactly the same for your expenses. I'm budgeting $2,166, but in month 1, my mortgage payment is only $2,000. In month 2, my mortgage payment is only $2,000 in total. Right down to month 5, so May, I've still only made mortgage payments of $2,000. And then in month 6, so in June, I have 3 mortgage payments come out. Now, what's actually happened over that time, though, is I've been budgeting for $2,166, which means that in month 1, I paid 2 lots of $1,000 to my mortgage, but I have $166 left in my mortgage jar. In month 2, same thing, another $166. So I'm accumulating $166 each month in my mortgage jar. And then when we get to June, I have a 3 mortgage month. 3 mortgage months, so I pay $1,000 on the 1st, $1,000 on the 15th, and $1,000 on the 29th. I have 3 payments come out. But fortunately, I have been accumulating money in my mortgage jar, so the money is sitting there ready to pay it, which is fantastic. So what I recommend when it comes to your expenses, always budget off your average monthly figure. Always budget off your average monthly figure. So it's a complete reverse of what I was recommending for your income. Where possible with your income, you should budget to your minimum monthly income. But with your expenses, always budget to your average monthly expense, and that way we know you're accumulating enough in your jars so that when the expenses turn up, the money is sitting there ready to pay it. So I'm hoping that makes sense. Pretty simple. Income, budget to your minimum monthly income. Expenses, budget to your average monthly income. The Grandma's Jars app does both calculations. So that with income, it'll work out your minimum monthly income and your average monthly income. But with expenses, it only ever uses average monthly expenses. So there you go. Should be pretty easy from here. Start budgeting to a monthly cycle.